Hi, welcome! In this video, I'm focused around one day, and I'm focusing on all the aspects. What's amazing is each planet is included in all of the aspects that I wrote down here for today. And some of these aspects are kind of within 1 degree or 3 degrees, or I think 4 degrees is the biggest orb that I use. And yeah, then I also say some things about exact on this day and exact on that day and whatnot. But here we go with Mercury conjunct Saturn in Sagittarius. So we are about to get very serious on the world subjects. I don't know if you guys have been reading the news lately, but a lot of bad stuff has been going on, and it is not very easy to deal with. But, the good thing is that we can focus now on really expanding and finding solutions to problems and getting very philosophical about these world issues and hopefully coming up with some great ideas that can help resolve some of these issues. That actually is exact on November 24th, which was yesterday now. And then they both square Neptune in Pisces. Saturn square Neptune is exact on the 26th. So this is something I've been thinking about a lot, the differences between Saturn and Neptune. And I think of Saturn as, being here in the physical reality and being maybe caught up in physical reality to the point where you don't have a grip on something more than this reality, which can be kind of like you're caught up in some sort of illusion, which is what Neptune actually rules. And Neptune helps you kind of focus on what you can't see, but is real to some degree. And a lot of what Neptune's about is dreaming and really trying to grasp the unknown and bring the unknown or the not real into reality, which Saturn is kind of a part of bringing things into reality as well. So they're like really opposite but the same. Like they're both kind of have the same goal almost, but they're very different obviously in their approaches. Saturn tries to give you a reality check based on what is, while Neptune tries to draw you into what is not yet in reality and helps to create reality. And with them squaring each other, Saturn in Sagittarius and Neptune in Pisces, while Saturn can be very dogmatic when it's in Sagittarius. It wants to stick to what it knows to a degree, but it also is trying to get us to see the beliefs that we really don't need anymore and what is actually keeping us from being able to be more expansive and more connected too. Neptune in Pisces is really about coming into unity with all of humanity, but there's a square there, so this is actually not easy because we have a lot of beliefs going on that we need to let go of in our world that are causing separation from each other. And this is really being shown big time right now, the separation between each other and there's a lot of problems we need to work on in our society and in the world as well. I mean, seriously, we need to work on letting go of the beliefs that are holding us back so that we can come into unity and peace and love and harmony and having that sense of connectedness to something greater than us, and not necessarily through something that can cause more separation. All right, Mars in Libra sextiles Mercury and Saturn in Sagittarius. And then Mars and Libra in conjunct Neptune and Pisces. And this all is within 1 degree. So with Mars and Libra, Mars and Libra actually does want to fight for the underdog. And Mercury and Saturn in Sagittarius is all like really, like I said, it's focusing in on the seriousness of the situation and also really helping us to get into the root causes of things possibly, and like looking deeper at something and getting very focused on one thing, hopefully, and being able to expand through that one thing and maybe bring some more harmony and peace with Mars and Libra. Mars in Libra is like a champion for people who are not necessarily in a good position, like the underdogs. So this actually could be a time where that comes out as well. And with Mars and Libra in conjunct Neptune and Pisces, this is not the easiest thing in the world. I mean, there's a dream, right? Like Neptune and Pisces is like a dream we have of unity and peace and everything like that. And Mars and Libra is trying to fight for peace as well, but this dream still seems unattainable. And Mars and Libra is doing what it can. But I feel like that aspect isn't the easiest aspect either, because a lot of times with in conjunctions, it's like one of the things needs to adjust its approach and needs to seek to understand the other thing. Because Mars and Libra is very, it's kind of on the mental level. And so it's like thinking about these things and wanting to do these things, and Mars wants to make it more actionable, but there seems to be like a frustration there, especially like Neptune and Pisces is very good at feeling and being at the unconscious level of things and trying to become aware almost. And then Mars and Libra is aware, but it's like not able to take the action it needs to. The moon in Gemini opposed the sun in Sagittarius at 2:44 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, making a full moon. So with the moon in Gemini, this is helping us to communicate our feelings. And the sun in Sagittarius is making us aware of our beliefs and also really more philosophical about our beliefs and even about ourselves. And so we're kind of able to express ourselves a bit easier, but at the same time, we might be creating tensions in our communication, or maybe we're revealing things that cause tensions while we communicate these emotions or the subconscious processes that might be happening in some way, like, our emotional processes and like our own feelings about those things. And when you communicate how you're feeling about stuff, sometimes that can rile things up. But the sun in Sagittarius is like needing to really let your light shine and let your ideas be known. And it's like a time to let our ideas be known. But it could also rile up tensions in some way. So, yeah. And then the moon in Gemini opposes Saturn and Mercury in Sagittarius later on today. About 11:50 or so is when I looked at that, or 11:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So when it opposes Saturn and Mercury in Sagittarius, this is going to be bringing some of those serious topics to light, and you're likely to communicate how you feel about those things. And, you might even communicate it to a neighbor or a sibling, or just in general, maybe writing it down or writing down some of the ideas you have that maybe could help bring some solutions, possibly. And then they all square to Neptune and Pisces, creating a T-square, which I forgot I wrote that whole part down too. And this is all within 1 degree. So Neptune and Pisces involved, there's some intuitive insights coming out, like we're getting some, we're hopefully having some hope now. There's tension still. There's, of course, the religious tensions, the spiritual tensions. There's been some serious tensions, okay, like going on. And, we all know probably what I'm talking about if you've been listening to what's going on in the world these days. Of course, Saturn can be kind of political as well, or not. Well, yeah, Saturn too, but I meant Sagittarius. Both of them, actually. In fact, John Seward is a Sagittarius. This is a time of some serious, like, political and religious tension, and I'm just, like, hoping for the best out of these situations and that some acceptance comes about it, and communicating about this stuff can bring this stuff to light, and also being more open to other people's belief systems, because Sagittarius is very open and wants to see the other people's points of view, the people from, foreign places. Like, Sagittarius is about making, uniting the world in some way. It sometimes can cause some issues of dogmatism, but and Saturn is really causing that issue of separation. And I feel like Saturn, like when it was in Scorpio, all of this stuff was brewing under the surface. And now that it's in Sagittarius, it's really coming to light, and it's also getting to be exacerbated. Like, it's not, it's not in a good, it's like really intense, And with the moon in Gemini, it's like just wanting to express itself a bit, express how you're feeling about this stuff. And of course, I have moon in Gemini, so I'm like kind of expressing how I feel about this stuff right now, in a way, by using astrology. But I'm not even trying to. But of course, it's kind of unavoidable when you're being an astrologer to avoid these subjects. Venus in Libra, semi-sextiles Jupiter in Virgo, and then Chiron in Pisces, semi-sextiles Uranus in Aries, and then Chiron opposes Jupiter, and Uranus opposes Venus, Venus in conjunct Chiron, and Jupiter in conjunct Uranus. So, with Venus semi-sextiling Jupiter in Virgo is, Virgo's first in the zodiac, and the way I look at semi-sextiles is kind of a graduation to the next sign. Libra is right after Virgo. So Jupiter's in Virgo, Venus is in Libra. Venus rules Libra, too. And so Jupiter in Virgo is wanting to really take its expansive ideas and bring it into reality. And Venus in Libra is looking at the world in a very idealistic way. And what this semi-sextile, I think, is wanting to really do is to attain that ideal in the world. And it's working on it by implementing now in small steps. That's what Virgo does. It implements in small steps, and it starts making practical applications. So the Venus in Libra, it's starting to dream even more, maybe, into another way of being where we can all be free and equal, and we can all love each other and be happy, and that sort of idea. And Jupiter, of course, is looking, shooting for that as well. So there's kind of that sort of thing going on with that semi-sextile. And this is happening within 1 degree today. And Chiron in Pisces semi-sextiles Uranus in Aries. So Chiron is helping us heal our wounds. And Uranus in Aries is helping us to be free by being ourselves. So it's like we have to kind of deal with the unconscious pain we've dealt with, and the unconscious pain that holds us back from being ourselves and maybe being overly giving, and then becoming more powerful and being unafraid and bold and ready to be ourselves and be free to be ourselves. So there's kind of a graduation from that as well, like Pisces to Aries going on. And then Chiron opposes Jupiter, and then Uranus opposes Venus. So Chiron opposing Jupiter, there's a tension in the process of this healing. We are really wanting to jump ahead into this ideal that we are holding for ourselves and for the world, and how we can be a part of the whole grand scheme of things. Because Virgo is kind of like your role in how you can be of service, and your like what your thing is, you know, the main focus that you're doing in this life that you can work on and be there for others, the gifts you're kind of bringing into the world. And also it's about health too. And Chiron is kind of, you know, I mean, it's a healer. So this could bring up some health things and also a need to like take care of yourself as well. And so while you have all these dreams and ideas coming to you, it's reminding you not to get too caught up in some of the pain of our world and to take care of yourself, I think. That's what that means. And then Uranus opposing Venus can cause some amount of tensions in relationships because Uranus wants to be free to be itself, and Venus in Libra is very focused on the relationship. So there is kind of another, it's kind of similar in a way, a need to honor yourself in the relationship too. And making sure to be true to your sense of freedom and your sense of genius even, and honoring your ideas and honoring yourself in that. And so you can really like be that force of individuality and that force of freedom, while also, of course, there's that Venus and Libra over there. You have to honor others as well and not step on them because that is a problem in our world as well, where people can get a little too caught up in themselves where they, bulldoze people. And Venus and Libra needs to work on, people who resonate more with the Venus and Libra types. You need to work on being more standing up for yourself. And that's what Uranus and Aries is trying to teach you. So on one end of the spectrum, you could be more of a selfish type, or on the other end, you might be too selfless. And either way, just try to balance it out because Venus and Libra will like that. No, but it's true. Okay. Then Venus in conjunct Chiron and Jupiter in conjunct Uranus. And this is within 3 degrees and 4 degrees, respectively. And I kind of lost my light, it looks like. With Venus in conjunct Chiron, this is a need to be aware of those feelings, those painful feelings that you have, so that it's not affecting your relationship negatively, if you're in a relationship, or affecting your relations with others negatively. Because if you're not aware of the pain that's under the surface, then it can actually become a point of contention where you're constantly causing some kind of rift unconsciously if you don't become aware of that pain within yourself. And that can help to smooth things over a bit. And then Jupiter in conjunct Uranus, Jupiter being in Virgo, and Uranus being in Aries. So this is definitely about taking care of yourself. And there need to be adjustments made to your diet. Maybe you've been indulging a bit too much in food. And if you do temper any overindulgences, because Jupiter can be overindulgent. And being in Virgo, you'd think that would help temper that, but it could be that you're being over excessive with your diet in some way. And maybe you're being over excessive in your diet just by over dieting. So take care of yourself in that way, and you'll actually gain more energy, and Uranus and Aries will help you charge forth into the highest insightful directions that Uranus brings. Uranus brings insights so that you can move forward on the path and on to your future. Okay, and then the Uranus and Pluto square is still happening within 3 degrees. But it's not going to be exact, I don't think, ever again. I'm pretty sure anyway. I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be exact again. But right now it's within 3 degrees, so it's you're still feeling the tensions of the societal shifts that are occurring on our planet. Uranus, of course, is bringing insightful directions towards freedom and sometimes rebellion. And then Pluto is trying to reveal all the restrictive patterns in our structures and to transform those things so that they do reflect more of humanity and what all of us are really attempting to attain in this time. And then, as a side note, the nodes did shift, by the way, on 11/11 into Virgo, the North Node in Virgo, and the South Node in Pisces. So, if we've been overly escapist or overly lost in our imaginings and what we imagine for the world, and maybe not focused on taking care of ourselves enough and maybe being a martyr, well, now we have to start moving towards taking care of ourselves, taking care of our health, and implementing the dreams that we've been given so that we can really start making practical service to the world and being more focused on some of the details in that, because Pisces does have this grand vision, this almost like abstract emotional sense of what the world could be. Now we just got to take that emotional sense and that general feeling of what could be and looking at how we can implement it and looking at the details of how we can implement it so that there is hope for the world. Okay, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I really appreciate it. And then we'll talk to you soon. I'm not sure. Lately I've been very busy these last couple of months with some personal stuff in my life, and so sorry I haven't been as consistent with my videos. But hopefully I'll be getting back on track. Maybe I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye!